promised to through Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We are those people. Go ahead, Monster.
Right, because part of their prophecy is that the power that's over Israel was going to discontinue their heritage from them.
That's right.
That's in the book of Jeremiah.
Can you bring that? Can you actually bring Jeremiah 17:9 after we bring up that Deuteronomy?
So there's going to come a time where those people was going to come back and to wake up to who they are. Because during one period of time, that power, who the word called God, his name is Yahweh, the Hebrew, the son of Yahweh Shai, discontinued their heritage from them at one time.
I guess I'm confused on where you're.
Well, let's keep it in order too. Get the Deuteronomy
Let's bring up Deuteronomy 28.
We start talking about, Romans 6:23, for the wages of sin are death. And those type of things.
Well, it takes a while. You can't get it in a soundbite, but if you have the patience and the wherewithal, to stand and be patient, we'll break it down all to you, man.
Yeah, you got into prophetic speaking a while ago. Even what we call the Christmas story, so to speak, when the wise men made their journey to see Jesus, they wouldn't have seen Herod, right?
That's not the Christmas.
Well, whatever you want to call it.
That's not in the Bible.
It's not about whatever you want to call it.
That's a nativity, the so-called nativity to birth. Go ahead.
So when
get out of here, man. Go ahead.
the wise men brought their gifts right to Jesus in Bethlehem, so to speak. We know he was really 2 years old. When they brought to him, they brought him frankincense, they brought him myrrh and gold. Gold representing the royalty and recognizing he's the king. The frankincense recognizes the sin of prestige, and the myrrh being recognized as an embalming fluid that's used in the process for the dead. So that right there foretold that he was going to be the King of Kings. He was going to live outside and have a smelling fragrance to others, but he was also going to die for those. I mean, there's the prophecy being foretold there before it ever fulfilled itself. Just like we go back to Isaiah 53.
I don't understand what you're.
Well, I'm saying it all has to do with the wages of sin, and that's
what is sin? What is sin?
What is sin? That it goes against what's the will of God.
What is the will of God?
We look back at Adam, the first Adam.
What's the will of God? Now, your answer for what is sin, it wasn't correct. But since you kept going, what's the will of God for you? What is the will of God for man? To fear him and keep his commandments. Well, what is sin? Somebody got it? Just real quick, and I'm going to get
no man can keep his commandments. That was the whole reason for the Messiah.
What is sin?
We cannot fulfill.
Now, we read earlier, his law, statutes, and commandments were only given to who?
All 623 of them.
We read earlier that his law, statutes, and commandments were given to who? To this nation that's on this side. Now, and you said something about sin. What is sin?
But we're getting too caught up in these nations.
If you got it, go ahead. What is sin?
We're missing out.
Go ahead, bro.
1 John 3 and 4. Whosoever committeth sin transgresseth also the law.
Go ahead.
For the sin is the transgression of the law.
Sin is nothing but sin.
1 John 3 and 4.
What's the law? This book.
The law, statutes,
this book is the law.
Okay.
So it's the entire book, or is it the Ten Commandments?
The Ten Commandments are nothing but a culmination of the whole book. We can't do both at the same time. But we're going to keep going on our same point. Okay? So, Deuteronomy, I don't know what you said. Deuteronomy 28.
How is the book the law?
Hold on one second.
The book is a teacher.
Hold on 1 second, really quick. Can we bring up Hebrews, the 10th chapter, for this guy right here, and then somebody else?
Just deal with his question too.
Okay, I'm sorry.
We was Deuteronomy 28.
Okay, I got you.
You got to press keep the eye sync.
Right.
This is Deuteronomy 28, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt.
Now this, who was, sorry, if I get just a little. Yeah, do your thing, bro. Who was speaking at this time? Moses was speaking. Who was Moses speaking to? He was speaking to the Israelites. So all that is an indicator of what we are teaching right now. Who these people are. The Lord's people are these people listed on this side. But in this prophecy, it's talking about a certain portion of the Lord's people. It's not talking about all of the Lord's people. But start over and read that again.
Deuteronomy 28 and 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt.
Somebody get 2nd Ezra 13. Start at verse 40. We're going to get the other 10 tribes as well. Start over from the slide.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen.
So if you call yourself a church man or a man that reads the Bible, this should stick out to you and say something. It should say, well, wait a minute. Deuteronomy was written by Moses, and it was Moses speaking to the children of Israel. And he was talking about a future prophecy for the nation of Israel. Something is going to happen. And it says, damn, they're going to go into slavery by ships. Well, wait a minute. There's only one nation of people that went into slavery by ships. But those aren't who the people in the world call the Israelites. Those are who they call Africans. So I'm confused. That's what the church person should be saying. So we'll clarify it for you. Start over.
Deuteronomy 28 and 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondwomen and bond.
Who was sold unto their enemies for bondmen and bondwomen? These are all easy questions. Easy peasy questions. The Israelites, not the Africans.
Let me ask you a question. What is your objective here tonight?
My objective, our objective is to preach. You keep asking a question on top of a question. Just because you got hard bottoms on and a church shirt, that don't mean you know the Bible.
No, I'm not trying to
If
be
you want to
combative.
know,
Just
let
ask
me
me a
talk. Will you let me talk and stop talking over me?
What is your objective?
If I came to your church and did what you were doing, all the deacons would come and get up under my arm and throw me out.
I know deacons.
Will you let me talk?
Go ahead.
Thank you. You ain't correcting nothing.
There are no deacons at my church. Keep going.
Go ahead, bro. Yeah, start over.
Deuteronomy 28 and
It's a
68.
damn shame that who looks like our people, it may not be, who looks like our people, always want to come up here and try to push their weight around.
I'm not pushing weight.
And you know
I'm
what
not
I noticed?
persecuting.
It's the
All
hard
I
bottom.
asked is what you doing.
It's the hard bottom.
That's all I asked.
I'm not even trying to be funny. It's the hard bottom. You have a Bible and you got hard bottoms on, and it's like you know everything.
I didn't say I know everything.
But before I started speaking on this scripture, you would have never linked that up with who you call the African American.
And again, and if I'm wrong,
I'm not
wrong.
trying to
teach
deal
me.
with you.
All I ask is what
Teach
your
this young
objective
man right here.
If you're not
Go
trying to
ahead.
teach everybody as a whole, you're trying to
Deuteronomy
teach one
chapter
person.
28
I
verse
don't have to
68.
teach to everybody.
You're in the wrong.
Go ahead.
You're in the wrong.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68.
Your
And the
objective
Lord
is to
shall
teach
bring
all,
thee into
not one
Egypt
person.
again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondwomen and bondmen, and no man shall buy you.
And that's what happened to the Lord's people. But guess what? They're teaching that nation is a whole nother nation. That's why when you go to Jerusalem right now, you got a nation over there calling themselves the Israelites. But that's dead wrong, even according to the scripture. Revelation 2 and 9, real quick.
Mind if I just break it?
Go ahead.
This one too. Because when he said no man will buy you, a lot of people will get confused on there and be like, you know what? He said no man will buy you. Slaves were bought. But when you go to the word buy you in the Hebrew, it means to redeem you or save you. He says no man will save you. And when you go to our history, that's what happened, man. We were lynched and we didn't have no way to be saved back then. That's right. That's what he means about
He
that.
was trying to get to. At what point do we show Christ's love? Are we trying to witness to people to try to understand you need to draw yourself to the Lord?
Say that one more time. I'm sorry.
So at what point are we trying to witness to draw people?
Well, you don't have to witness. This is the Lord's program. One second. Let me answer you though. The Lord chooses who's going to come into this thing. Who's going to get the understanding. Exactly. It's predestined, and the Lord gets it. No. See, like we read earlier. That's what we read earlier.
Open Isaiah.
Yadaka. That's what we read earlier. This word is a two-edged sword.
Hold on.
This word is a two-edged sword. You got a precept for it. So when that happens, that's what we want to happen. We're out here seeking the elect. That's what we're out here doing. So as we're preaching the Lord's word, we're going to give it to you in full. And when it comes out in its fullness, these people don't want that. These people want to be able to do and say what they want to do.
Hey, you got to stay.
The water. Pull a pistol grip from you like that. They want to just come up here and say what they want to say. They want to be able to take this book and do what they want to do. That's why they call themselves Baptists. That's why they call themselves Protestant, Lutheran, and so on. Because they want to be able to take the book and interpret it how they want to interpret it. But you cannot do that with the scriptures.
Right.
You cannot do that with Yahushua. Yahushua is who he is. You can't change it. Period, point blank. That's what they like to do. They like to come and say, well, Yahushua's message is for everybody. But his words don't say that.
Hey, watch this dude.
His words don't say that, not one bit.
That's right.
Yahushua said himself, he's not coming back for peace. He's coming back for division. He's coming back for destruction.
I'm saying stop.
And he also said, like we read earlier, he's coming for the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Watch this dude.
The lost sheep of the house of Yasharallah. That's who he's coming for.
That's right, brother.
So if you out here with your hard bottoms on that look like 2 sizes too big, talking about everybody can be saved, you wrong. You dead wrong. Go ahead with your precept.
This is Jeremiah chapter 1.
Isaiah
Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out the womb, I sanctified thee. And I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations.
So it was beautiful that when he wanted to have a loaded question. Are y'all talking about predestination? Of course we are. And I'm glad that he walked off because it wasn't for him.
That's right.
That was a pearl. That's a pearl right there. So why cast? I'm out.
No.
So why? You know what I'm saying? Why cast that upon him? No, it doesn't mean that. That's where we disagree. See, everybody don't want to take the Bible in fullness, man, in its entirety. You want to take pages out, like the brother always goes into. You slowly start taking pages out, certain books start missing.
That's like trying to remove a leg from Yahushua. That's trying to take his arm off for it to fit your purpose. It's not going to do that.
That's right.
It is not designed to fit your purpose.
That's right.
It is designed to the purpose that it's come to do.
That's right.
There is a certain elect that's going to be saved. They will get his word and push his word, and that's it, and that's that.
That's right.
Everybody else out here with their own interpretation. I believe I talked about it last week. You had Martin Luther, who wanted to preach that it's all about faith. So in his writings, he said, you know what? We got to take the book of James out of the Bible completely. That's what their doctrine is. Because they want to make it fit for the whole world. So now we got to tear certain pages out. Because Yahushua said he came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel, not the lost sheep of the whole world. Go ahead,
And this is real. This is a real problem for people. You know, the Apocrypha is a big stumbling block because the BDG, the Bible Destruction Group, removed this.
Get 2nd Ezra 13.
Yes.
Start at verse 4.
You know, so you got a lot of people, man, who don't want to take the scriptures into its entirety. They want to make it fit their time schedule, their calendar, their lifestyle. Life don't work like that. Hell, your job don't even work like that. Your ass supposed to work 40 hours. Guess what? You're going to work 40 hours or go kick rocks and look for another job.
And even your church don't work like that. I can't come up in your church trying to change everything around.
That's right, brother.
Trying to remove certain pages and all that.
That's right.
I can't come up in your church. You know how they got the half of the Bible. They only do is a New Testament. I can't come in there and add the Old Testament. You would say, no, that's a whole different thing. That's what Yahushua is for the elect. He is who he is. He's the salvation.
That's right, brother.
But you want him to be for everybody. But he doesn't fit that. So now you got the Edomite cat, Caesar Borgia, Cesare Borgia. And the brother was talking about how they took this Apocrypha out because it speaks truth. Get that. 2nd Ezra 13, start at verse 40.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, got the 10 tribes?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. This is 2nd Ezra, chapter 13, starting at verse 40. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land.
When it's talking about the 10 tribes, when you look at the sign, it's talking about the northern kingdom. That's on the sign. Now, they preached that the so-called Native American came over here, walked clear across the earth, over the Bering Strait, into this land. That's what they preach. That's what they teach you in elementary school, in high school, college, a whole none. But what does the Bible say? Go ahead.
In the time of Osea the king, whom Salmanasar, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters.
So there was a time that the nation of Israel was going to go into captivity. But it was only going to be for the southern kingdom, because the northern kingdom was going to be fulfilling this prophecy. Go ahead.
That's right. And so they came into another land. Verse 41. But they took this counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt.
And what country was that? What land was that? That's the land that we're standing on right now.
That's right.
That's the land that they call Babylon, Egypt, Rome, all of that stuff combined. This land of America, a land of straight bitterness. Bitterness for who? For the people on this side. Because the damn sure ain't bitter for the so-called white man.
That's right.
Go ahead.
That they might there keep their statutes, which they never kept in their own land. Verse 43. And they entered into Euphrates by the narrow passages of the river. Verse 44, for the Most High then showed signs for them, and he held still the flood till they were passed
now, when it
over.
says the Most High showed signs to them, the northern kingdom was well versed in dealing with the stars.
That's
and
right.
being able to follow and map courses along with the stars. It shows you that when you read about the Incas, the Aztec, the Mayans, that's all they was doing. And they was going off doing it because now they want to talk about all kind of madness with it. But that proves that that's who it's talking about.
That's right, brother.
That's a prophecy for our people. You can read a little bit more.
Okay, cut.
Verse 45, for through the country, verse 45, for through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half.
Now it would take a year and a half to get from that land to here. Oh, it makes perfect sense. Or are you going to say that, I wish I had a map, or are you going to say that they walk clear across the whole earth, over the iciest frozen part of the earth to get here? That doesn't make no sense that they would do that. It makes sense, and it's documented in the Holy Scriptures. Therefore, that's what makes it true. But that man that was standing here, he wants to believe in the Bering Strait theory. He wants to believe in everything but the Bible. And that's what we're out here to do, like we was talking about earlier, to break down these strongholds. But to break down the strongholds, you got to know what the strongholds are. You got to be able to see it when it's coming. Or you yourself might get trapped up into this madness. You yourself might not have an understanding of how the so-called Native American got here, so you're going along with it. But the Lord gave his truth and understanding to his prophets, to his servants. And they were going to take this book in whole and preach it. So we could get into a whole bunch of things. But I love what the Lord did with that man. Oh, y'all believe in predestination, and walked off. Another thing we get in is, should we or should we not follow the law? We would have said, of course you need to follow the law. He would have took off running. But we got scriptures to back up what we talk about. Excuse me. We got Salakia, Yahushua to back up what we talk about. Yahushua ain't dealing with everybody. That's the beautiful part about this whole thing. We have the gift. You don't. We have the right to be on this corner preaching the Lord's truth.
That's why the Lord moved that nigga up the street who was being combative and saying
we are the heirs to the promise.
That's right.
That's us. Not these clowns walking around with these big ass hard bottoms on. Not them. They don't have it with the belt to match the shoes. They don't have it. Jake think, well, when I put a suit on and I put a Bible in my hand, now I got it.
intelligent.
And I can tell anybody everything as long as I come in that spirit where, well, you know, Jesus loved everybody. Well, guess what? Jesus did not love everybody. Yahushua did not love everybody. And as we come in the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, we don't love everybody.
Right.
We, like I said, we are equal opportunity hate group. We hate niggas. We hate Spits. We hate Tomahawk Indians. We hate the Coolies, the Elamites. We hate the Chinese. We hate the Japanese. We hate the Koreans. We hate all it. Everybody up here hates a Hamite with a certain passion. But above all, we hate that so-called white man.
That's right. I got a gun.
So we don't hold back. We give it to everybody. Don't be mad. Everybody gets it when they come up here. Don't be upset. We come in the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Straight from the prophets. We got direction straight from the prophets. How to be and how to deal with these scriptures. But these people don't. You ain't gotta have hard bottoms on to preach the Lord truth. We all found that out. You ain't gotta have a tie on
That's right.
to be into the Bible.
You ain't got to spend your whole check.
You gotta have the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Go ahead with your precept. So
This is just edifying about the 10 tribes. This is 2 Kings 17 and 22. For the children of Israel walked in all the sins of Jeroboam, which he did. They departed not from them until the Lord